Hey, what's up, everyone? I saw something spectacular in the sky earlier. As you can see, I've got 3% left on my phone. It was at zero earlier. I had no power. But the object I saw, I wish I could have recorded it. But I didn't get to record it. So I was at the truck and I was airing up the tires. And there's a lot of snow out there and it's just turning slick. And I'm trying to make sure the truck is okay in case we have to get in and go somewhere. And I'm sitting out there watching the sky as I'm airing up the back tire, and I see this beautiful, glowing, amber colored. It was orange, but it looked like this, and it reminded me of the Star of David or the Star of Bethlehem. That's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of an angelic being. It wasn't like a UFO that you would normally see. It wasn't like a man-made craft. It wasn't like anything like that. It was beautiful. It was amber colored, orange, just glowing with this beautiful, luminous glow. And I just looked up and I reached in my pocket, but I realized my phone was dead. So I had no cord, nothing to charge it. But it was beautiful. It was sideways. It wasn't pulsing. It wasn't blinking. It was just moving steady right over me. It appeared right over me, pretty low to the ground. Pretty low. But it wasn't super low. It was low enough that a small plane might fly. And there was also a jet coming toward its direction, but it was a lot higher up, the jet was. This object just I can't even describe it. It was very beautiful. It reminded me of the flaming chariots they described in the Bible, but it was just like a glowing, amber colored. Let's see if I can find the color. It looked like this, only that was the color. It looked like that Star of David, only this was the color. So I was watching this object traverse across the sky right over me. And it was going from southwest to northwest. It was headed just straight up. It was so, I don't know, it was just beautiful. But it was just moving steady. And then I saw it begin to just fade and just poof out of existence. Right as a smaller object that looked more like it was just an ordinary star-looking object. It was about the size of a star, and it was coming toward this object. But this object was moving steady, and it just blinked away, just faded out, like it went beyond this, like it went out of this existence. But it felt angelic. I don't know. I know it wasn't a projection. I know it wasn't anything like that. I didn't get that feeling at all. It was just there, and I could sense that it was aware of me, but it was doing whatever it was intended to do. It was moving along where it was going. And there was another smaller one that was about this size coming toward my direction, but it just faded and disappeared as well right when this one did. This one was coming my direction. It was coming from northwest to southeast. This one was heading from southwest to northwest. And it was just the orange object that looked like the Star of David. It was beautiful. And it was just heading north. Just heading right by. And it was slanted sideways. Imagine that star I showed you, but slanted sideways and just moving along. Just minding its own business, just moving along. And the other one was coming toward me and toward it, and then they both faded at the same time. This was a couple of hours ago, and it really was beautiful. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. I've seen these things before, but they usually fade in and out, or they pulse, or they move steady, and they're just a round object like this, A lot of times they're just a round circular object. They're not usually in the shape of the Star of David or an angelic star. They're not usually in that shape. They're usually, this was like a large star moving in our existence. Okay, so that's the only way I know how to describe it. But it was just, it was really amazing. Anyway, I've seen a lot of interesting things, but I had never seen one in the shape of the Star of David or a Jewish star, or like sort of like a beautiful, like this, like an angel of the Lord star. That's what it reminded me of. How they depict that. And it was tilted sideways and just heading straight up to the northwest, and just faded out right as the other one was coming toward me. But the other one was smaller and round, just like an orb. The other one was an orb, but this one looked like a star. I've seen the orb objects just going through the sky, traversing through the sky, but not one shaped like an actual star, like you'd see Venus in the morning, except Venus would be white. This was glowing amber orange. But this was like almost like looking at Venus, but moving through the sky. All right, that's all for this video. Signing out.